Welcome. It's the Late Night Talk Show on Ontop FM. I'm your girl, Miss Leesh.
And I'm your girl, Leticia, aka Leglelicious. Welcome to the Late Night Talk Show. Father, we thank you for bringing us here safely and securely. We ask you to continue to bless us as we go about our daily bread. We thank you for blessing those of us who were ill and helping us to become better again so we can live our life as best as possible. We thank you for the opportunities that we have to enable us to look after our family and ourselves in terms of providing food for us to eat, clothes on our back, and paying for the amenities that we need to live on a daily basis. We thank you for those that are in employment and that are working towards employment. We ask you to keep us safe and to keep blessing us with everything that we do and help to keep our minds positive and sane. We thank you for Ontop Radio, where we are able to provide information to the community through the music, through the talking, and just through having fun and just being with people, which we need at different times in our lives. We thank you for the Late Night Talk Show, and we thank you for a wonderful show. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Late Night Talk Show every Wednesday from 10 till 12 a.m. Midnight. How you doing, Miss Leesh?
I'm good.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm all good. Just there's something wrong with connections though, that's the only thing.
Oh, okay. That happens sometimes, it seems, too.
Yeah, but I'm all good, no complaints at all. Yourself?
You know what, I'm doing great. I just but yeah, as I'm just saying that, I just want to give condolences out to the family of Bob, aka Bob Jesus, and anybody else that's passed away. Just got some bad news. Friend of mine's passed away this morning. Just found out about 6 o'clock this evening, so it kind of threw me. Yes, we give condolences to people that's lost somebody, but to the family, may rest in peace. And other family members and so forth that have passed away. So we just ask God to give people us strength and guidance that we need to keep us up and to keep protecting us and to just hold us up in this time of need right now. So that's about it really. But other than that, it's been I just look mad, my eyes just look weird from where I've been crying. I can just see it. Looks like I've got no lashes. I don't wear lashes anyway, so it's just, why do I look like I've got no eyes? But yes, it's a bit red and puffy, but yeah, don't watch that. It is what it is. I guess let's do birthday introductions, or should I say birthday greetings. We do have a guest in the studio with us today. Would you like to sing happy birthday with us? We do happy birthday for anybody whose birthday is. We sing a rendition of happy birthday.
You're singing, I'll join.
Okay. Okay. What song are we doing today, Leesh? We're doing original, or we just gonna do your the freestyle?
We haven't done original in a while. Let's try.
Which original though?
This the new. That's not really original. That's the original.
No, that's original black original. Lineup. What's his name?
Stevie Wonder.
Oh my God.
That's black original, and then the other original is
Just the original.
All right, cool. Just want that original.
Original.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you.
It's like
May
church.
the good Lord bless you.
Sorry.
May the good Lord bless you. Oh my gosh, so that harmonica I can hear in the background. No, did you
Harmonizing.
harmonizing?
I'm a musician.
In it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh my God.
The your other avenue. Yeah, I still see that stuff. Yeah.
One of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, without further ado, let's introduce our guest.
This connection keeps on cutting off.
Okay.
on that.
Put it on. Which one?
This one. Sorry. Everyone's thinking, where have they gone?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Late nights on this one.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. That makes sense. Okay. Cool.
You can stand anywhere or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come up here and join us up. Yeah, would you like a seat?
There's space for you there, look.
Yeah. Alright, I'll stand on the back.
Right, you can do the back. It's for sure, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So, well,
Man,
yeah, just this is for you.
I'm ready? Yeah?
Yeah? Just talking to the mic,
Yeah,
okay?
that's it. Am I
Cool.
close enough?
Yeah, just get up close and personal.
Ooh. That's
Okay.
okay. Right?
It is. Okay, so I'd like to welcome to the studio today Mr. Khareem Jamal.
Good evening to you.
Thank
Good
you.
evening. Thank
Welcome
you
to
for
the Late
having me.
Night Talk Show.
Yeah, welcome. Everyone who's listening. And it's glad to be here. Even though at this late hour. It's good.
I know it's late, isn't it? I know it's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
Well, late-ish. Whatever.
well, late-ish. It depends what you get, what you kind of do, really, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And if you're up to no good, then you're probably awake this time.
No, don't say that. Like, some
No,
people-
unless you're a DJ.
no, Khareem, what are you instigating right now? Okay, so welcome down. It's Black History Month, and short of people of colour celebrating their culture, or not even celebrating, it's our culture, and we live the life that we live as such. But because it's Black History Month, we try to ensure that we kind of push as much as we can push within this month to kind of raise awareness, because some people are more open to receiving at this particular time.
True.
You know, so yeah, so that's so this month we try to have as much
It's on there. Don't worry about it.
okay, cool, as much information as we can around the whole I've got to say Black Lives Matter. But yeah, I mean that's not even it. I mean that's a thing that's we've been having for a period of time, isn't it? So I guess
True.
it's kind of on the tip of my tongue. Black Lives Matters. But yeah, so Khareem, you are from the organisation called the School of Africology. Africology, sorry.
Ology, yeah.
Afri-
It's what other people call Black History and Black Studies. So we make it into an ology because it's a science. So
It's a science.
yeah, African phenomena.
Okay.
I like that one. It's a science.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Rather than call it Black History, Black Study, I think black doesn't do justice enough because it's our history is world history.
Okay, yeah, I know
Yeah.
that.
Kind of compartmentalize it and put it in it's not just Africa, it's the world.
It is the world, isn't it? But I guess kind of like how we've kind of been taught, it's like it's segments as well, isn't it? And sort of trying to separate us as a people as well.
Yeah.
Like, so depending on where you got your teachings from, it will potentially determine how you kind of
Absolutely, yeah.
categorize it as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, the way you should look at it is that wherever there are people, black people were there.
So, okay, well, there's people everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So we were there first.
Okay, so when we, I mean, yeah. So you are here from the School of Africology.
Africology. Well, it's one of the things that we do. So I mean, as well as being, I'm a playwright. So I'm a playwright, but I'm always telling stories. I'm teaching. So I teach with drama, and I teach with lectures, and I teach with songs, and I just teach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess people learn in different ways, isn't it? So we
Exactly.
can learn through music, we can learn through drama,
Precisely.
we learn through teaching, and
Yeah, because not everyone can sit in a lecture, for 2 hours or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can do that. I mean, so it's good to have different other avenues that you can use, or different sort of dynamics that you can employ to teach people. Yeah. So
Okay.
I find drama is really powerful to do that.
Okay. So just tell me about your organisation.
I love it. The way you just sort of circumvented the name, right?
No, because like you said, there's different strands in it. You just talked about drama, you talked about singing, you talked about lectures as well, isn't it? And you said it's a school. So with it being a school,
Right.
the school has different types of parts of the curriculum. If you're talking about it from the Western side of things,
Exactly.
we have different parts of the curriculum. So within the School of Afriology.
Africology.
Africology.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, it's going to have the different sectors that you focus on and the different ways. So like you said, drama, singing.
Okay, let's deconstruct this school idea.
Yeah.
So it's not a school in traditional sense where there's a building and you go to that building and there's different classrooms and that kind of thing, yeah? Can you hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what it is people will say to me, all right, Khareem, can you deliver a course for 10 weeks in our establishment? So we're mobile. So I'll go where you are.
Yeah.
And teach a curriculum depending on what you want. Okay, what aspects of Black history you want me to teach. I'll write some lessons on that and deliver. If it's Zoom, we do it on Zoom. Wherever you want the School of Africology to be, we'll be. So we're not in a building, we'll be in your building. Does that make sense?
So the building is just like they say, like if you're religious and stuff, they say anywhere where more than one is gathered is a church, isn't it? You're in church, so I guess it's the same kind of concept that you're bringing. You know, you can bring it to where anybody is.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, how long has it been in circulation?
This manifestation of what I do is probably around 10 years.
Okay.
Maybe just slightly less.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been doing this type of work for, 30 odd years, 40 years maybe. We started off with...
You say 30 to 40 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Different ways, not the School of Africology, but when we started with Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame. So, I'm one of the creators of Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame, which is, I don't know if you're probably too young, I don't know if you heard.
Would you say one of the creators of the Black Hall of Fame?
Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame, a theatre production that we created in 1987. Myself, Flip Fraser, and J.D. Douglas.
I was a bit young.
Yeah.
I was just about. I was 8.
You say that. Well, we had 8-year-olds in there. We had 5-year-olds in there. We had 3-year-olds. We had grandmothers. We had mothers. We had fathers. So
fair enough.
we had 3-4 generations in there at the same time because it's that kind of platform.
Yeah.
And it's musical.
Yeah.
So everyone got something out of it. And we went to America there twice and that kind of thing.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I went to America and went to.
So
Jamaica.
it was a traveling.
Well, it's a huge production. It was an epic production. So you got 40 odd cast members. And people saw it from America and say, "Well, this is great. Can you bring it to us?" And then so promoters came, took us to America, and the rest is history. Yeah. And of course, so from that we did that for 20 odd years, from Jamaica, all over the place.
What, with the same product?
Same production. Yeah.
20 odd years, you was carrying it around the world.
Yeah.
Wow. So that means it was well recognized. It was people responded to it. People wanted to see it.
You will know people who have seen it. Put it that way.
What's it called again?
Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame.
Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you ask your family.
I've heard that.
You definitely know people here.
I used to go to a place called New Initiatives on Landor Road, and was taught a lot of Black history by Paul and Ella.
Okay.
Paul is part of, or was part of, the Black Archives place in Brixton.
Brixton, okay.
Yeah, so I learned a lot there, and I'm sort of Black heroes and stuff. There was, we had lots of different things that we had the different people on the wall and things like that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's many people out there doing something now, which is really good. So, one time you when you were growing up, you wouldn't have that sort of option to learn about the history. You have to really search for it. You have to make a special trip to get a book, miles. We have to go to Brixton or somewhere. I used to live in North London, so...
I was going to say, because you said you had to go to Brixton, so I'm saying, where are you from?
Exactly. So, I was originally from Finsbury Park, so...
From where?
Finsbury Park.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean from where? Like, you never heard of it?
No, I didn't catch what you said.
Okay,
You talk
cool.
fast,
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're talking fast now.
Let me slow down, okay? So, I used to live...
I caught that.
So,
Finsbury Park, okay. So you have to
know
come
where
down.
that is, right?
Yeah. I go shopping up Frontier Road.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Got some good books up there,
That was my agent. That was my intern right there, man.
See?
Frontier Road, all of Finsbury Park, yeah. North London, Tottenham, Stoke Newington, the whole lot.
They've changed up a lot now, Finsbury Park, haven't
Very
they?
different, yeah.
It's
Very
a lot.
different, yeah.
One entrance to get out.
yeah.
Of the train station.
Yeah, everything's changed, right?
Everything's changed. Yeah, it has. Okay, cool. So what? So is that still your area now, or
No.
You in Brixton now?
No.
Oh, okay. I came to the south side. You know what's better,
I got my visa, a passport stamp on the way through the tunnel and everything. Yeah, I'm legal,
Illegal. Yeah, just about to sing a song there. Let's not. Okay, cool. Okay, so you travelled around with the Black Heroes Play production for 20 years.
When I say that, it doesn't mean that we're every day for 20
no,
years.
No, I get it.
And it's more than 20 years. It's probably nearer to 30 years, actually, we're doing it. So.
Wow. But if that's 87, 80, 90... Okay, so it's finished recently.
How's your maths?
Huh? My maths is great. It's not. Some days. But then that means, it's not long ago before you may have stopped doing it.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. There's periods of inactivity, which can be quite a long period, But then you can suddenly resurrect it and do it again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, okay. So, yeah.
So what was the Black... Obviously, the name that speaks for itself in terms of Black Heroes, but just tell me a bit about the concept of what that was.
Okay, so the concept is a way of teaching history, introducing characters to the world that you may not have known about.
Oh, I've done it.
Or you may have heard their name but not known they're Black. So it was our way of, creating a new narrative of history than the one you've been used to. So, and what it did was, we did things in the West End like midnight shows, in the West End. So in other words, we'd have a show at the evening, 7:30. That would finish. We'd have sort of like an hour respite.
Yeah.
And then people would come in for midnight.
Oh,
It's like a rave. For real. So it was extraordinary. People coming there, foghorns blowing. It wasn't like theatre in the traditional sense, because people were very boisterous, very noisy, feeling free to shout, to scream, to clap, to cheer, to cry, the whole lot, because it was so inspirational. So,
wow. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So now what I've created on the back of that is another sort of series of plays, but because in Black Heroes you'd see maybe 100 characters, you never really got to know the characters intimately until you did your own research after.
Fair enough, because you just do a small snippet of each person, isn't it?
Yeah. And so we've got a new production called Voices of Black Folk, in which maybe we have 3 or 4 characters in each production. But there's more drama, more monologue, and you get to know more the inside story of the individuals.
What's monologue? Because I always hear people talk about monologue. What's the difference between monologue and something?
Well, when a monologue, you just see the one character.
So it's one person talking throughout the whole the whole play.
Yeah. So you have to be very creative in how you create the dialogue to keep people engaged. Yeah. Otherwise, it's quite easy for people to switch off because you haven't got all of these different distractions of people, voices, and dynamic of people's voices and that kind of thing. So the content of the script, if you want, has to be engaging. And the character himself, the costumes, all those other things. So you're fully focused. And of course, the story itself. We got so much stories that it's not hard to make people engage with the actual character.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, like you said, off the back of that, you've got these different ones that you're doing now. Is that so? You're still doing drama now and moving around?
Yeah. It's only because of COVID. We had 2 productions this year scheduled. One is The Voice of Black Folk, written before the Windrush.
Okay.
So sometimes people like, there's so many misconceptions about how long Black people have been in Britain. Yeah. And people like our history starts with the Windrush or something. From 1948. Well, we've been here, for
before that,
thousands of years. So that's how deep we go in that.
That's interesting. And did you get to perform that, or it didn't get to be put out?
Well, we're supposed to come out in April, of course, with the COVID hitting.
And that hit in March, so just a month before.
Yep, exactly. So that's very annoying. So we had a sort of mini tour set up for that, to do that. But the stories are there, and I'm still writing. And so we also had another production for next year lined up. Goodness knows what's going to happen next year, but which is a musical called The Burning of Black Wall Street.
Oh, we talked about that a few weeks ago. Well, probably a few months ago.
Yeah.
Black Wall Street.
Okay. Yeah.
And short of the burning of Black Wall Street, because that's one element of it, and the other element is the whole Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Yeah, the Tulsa riots, isn't it?
That's
Which
right.
then
It's
became
the
same thing.
Yeah.
But then people just knew about that part more so than what Black Wall Street was and what it stood for in terms of the economical value of Black Wall Street and the powerfulness of the society that we had as Black people.
Oh yeah.
That then became entrenched within the whole thing, and then it got taken away.
And there's more than one community like that in America at the same time. That's just an example of one of them. So we had several communities across America where Black communities did their own thing because they had to. This is the period of Reconstruction after slavery.
Yeah.
Where basically you're free now, and remember, a lot of people don't know what freedom feels like or felt like.
It feels strange.
Yeah, because it was
isn't
people and children being born into it and just growing and more and growing. Because 500 years, isn't it? And if you look at it, like it's been disbanded. Like what? How many years would you say? Like my mum's 60.
What, slavery?
Yeah.
Well, the slave trade was abolished in 1807, and slavery was abolished in 1833 in Britain anyway.
Okay.
So, 150 odd years, 60 odd years. Yeah. So,
but there's still
it's
not long compared to the whole. Like you've got people like one of my friends said her grand died the other day and she was like 104 years old.
Yeah, for real. So her mother would have known slavery.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like when people are saying, oh, get over it.
No, forget that. That's a Holocaust. That's a Holocaust that lasted for 400 or 500 years. That's a long time to be in a Holocaust.
It's quite interesting that you picked up the name of a Holocaust. That's a Jewish.
Well, they've cornered the phrase.
I was going to say that, yeah.
They've cornered the phrase and almost put a trademark on it. But it's a dictionary, so it's free to use as long as the definition of it describes what it does.
So was the Holocaust a word that was out before the Jewish?
Of course. And
they've just taken it over, like different societies have taken over certain words and using it for their own connotation, which that's not the actual meaning.
Well, we're free to use it.
Well, not the actual meaning. That's different. Actually, I've gone to a different side.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's whether you're free to use it or not. No one's prohibiting you from using it. It's not an exclusive word for the Jewish community to use.
Yeah.
No, you have the right to use it, and we have more right than anyone if you're going by the definition of it, which is extermination of a people. Which is what the objective was.
It's quite interesting actually that you said that. I've never heard any sort of a lot of Black history and so forth. And I don't recall anyone using that terminology.
Because they never had me on here before.
Well, no, but even sort of on the radio, but just even generally in terms of my teaching, nobody's mentioned.
That was me, right?
Yeah. But it is now.
With COVID and all.
But no one's used that terminology, and it's quite interesting because, like you said, it's what it stands for is this whole thing. But yet then if I'm going to use it myself, the Holocaust of the slave or the Black people is not felt to be as deep as the Holocaust of the Jewish people.
Well, you have to claim that. They created that space for themselves by demanding that. So don't watch them. Look at what we can do. So you have to create your own demands. Yeah. You don't let anyone. Don't think anyone's going to do that for you. Forget that. So we. Our experience can only be as important as we make it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. And because many of our people say, "Oh, let's forget about slavery," you're crazy. Are you mad? That's why we're here. That's why we're in the condition we are today. Slavery backed up by colonialism straight after. So, I'm not saying that we should make it the whole testimony, but it's a massive part of our story.
Definitely. Interesting. Okay.
Am I still talking past?
No, I'm catching you. Or maybe I'm getting used to you right now, so it's not really, But short for myself, yeah. Okay, cool. So what made you decide to what was your experience? Because short of me asking your age or any of that drama,
my birthday tomorrow anyway, so it's good.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
You see,
that was a happy birthday for you then.
Isn't it? That was a happy birthday for you.
That's why I was singing the harmony and everything.
It's like getting the harmony. I feel like you've got to do it all over again, man.
No, it's good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, where were we?
Yes, I was saying, sort of asking you the wonderful age that young you're going to be. Where did it come from for you? Because, like you said, travelling with that 30 years and so forth. So, Claire...
what put you on the path? Of this?
Where did... Yeah.
Well, rites of passage. I suppose when I grew up when I was young, a much different community, different sort of environment than you guys would have experienced. Yeah, so there wasn't much inspirational things for young black people to look at. TV stuff. It just wasn't on there until later on down.
Yeah.
But we all got something we call a spirit of inquiry, which is that thing in there which makes you ask questions. Some of us get it drummed out of us, so we no longer ask questions, and therefore, we don't discover things. We just receive information, but we don't discover information.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something always in me, nagging me, saying, something is missing from my story or our story as a people, yeah? Something didn't make sense. So that's what I call a spirit of inquiry. And I guess a book I had when I was very young, when I say very young, so just hit teens, 16 maybe, called Stolen Legacy, which is a classic book. I don't know if you guys have read it, but you should do.
I've not read it, no, but it does sound slightly, but it just could be, I'm just thinking that I know it, but Stolen Legacy, who's it?
George G.M. James is the author.
George G.M. James.
And of course it talks about what it says, Stolen Legacy, that a lot of the things that are credited or attributed to Greeks and Romans actually came from Africa first. So things like philosophy, art, music, all of these things that Western civilization is based on. And they always talk about Greeks and Romans and they glorify this thing. Which Greeks and Romans are nothing more than pedophiles and sodomites, and that's what. No. This is what was part of their society. You read some Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. They'll tell you that the most pure form of love is between a man and a boy.
What do you say?
I said that's what they said.
Oh, see, that's why I said you gotta slow down the road, because I was just like, wait, what did you say?
Yeah. So in case the folks are thinking it's my philosophy, no, it's not.
No, you did
say.
Yeah.
The Greek philosophers.
Okay,
and in Greek society, that rites of passage was when a young man reached a certain age, 12, 11, 13, that what they actually did was to hunt him. They would release them boys, and whoever caught the boy, that was the prize.
Oh, wow.
What, release him like a dog?
Yeah, of course.
When you say release him, so where was he captured then?
So, the forest, whatever the...
So what, did they teach the boy? Where did they get them?
No. It's part of the society, so it was accepted. It's a norm.
So someone just come and take your kid? No, because
you don't have to take the kid. This is that...
No, but I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
Get that
so,
rite of passage so they can go from...
right.
So all of them probably at a certain age...
Exactly.
It was just normal, like you get circumcised at age whatever.
Well, they didn't get that, but...
No, but I'm just saying, like, they say that's some kind of ritual.
Yeah.
So that kind
of...
Right. So that kind of thing, but they would allow their children, like... And you say release him in the forest and someone would catch...
I'm just,
I'm not, listen, I'm very...
I know, because it's...
I don't understand certain things. I'm very...
You'll never understand.
No, but I mean, like, if you say something, I'm going to take it as what you're saying to me.
We'll take it as written.
Yeah, but you said they'll get released into the forest.
I don't necessarily forest to just release them, right? So forest, I don't care, whatever the environment is. They could be in Sparta, they could be in Athens, depending on which part of Greece they're in. They could be in Corinth, they could be in Crete. Greece is...
You've got geography, isn't it?
I've got everything. So, anyway. So that was a norm for them. That was a normal thing that they did. And like I say, they revered the idea of love between a man and a boy. Women were just there to breed. In fact, they were a bit of a nuisance as far as Greeks concerned.
My mind's going all over the place.
Yeah. So that's
like,
why
I just want to be like, questions around that, but that's not what we're here for, Greek methodology and all that.
Yeah, no, well, see, you have to understand, remember that Western civilization is based on that. So when you see certain things entrenched in your society, now it's based on those things which are inherited and part of their philosophy.
It's ingrained, isn't it?
It's ingrained because they revere Greece and Rome.
When you use that word you're using, revere, what does that mean?
Worship the Lord. Idolize if you like. Revere is to respect.
Okay.
I see you're musing on that, right? It's got some deep thoughts.
It's food for thought, though, isn't it?
Because it is. Yeah.
You learn different things about the different societies, and I do know about Greek methodology. I do know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't know parts of what you said, but what you just said there, that little bit, that's all.
They ain't going to tell you that.
Never really know said that, their part, that's all. But when you look at certain monuments or pictures or whatever, you will see, the boy like this, or naked boys, or you see little penises, and kids and big people, and everybody's naked.
Now you know why, right? Okay, there you go.
But we've always, because... Even with the whole church thing anyway, slightly going off to Late Night Talk Show every Wednesday from 10 till 12 on Ontop FM, you will see different little things that just don't look right.
On what?
Well, I was saying the church. So even in the church, they got goblins.
Church
and
buildings and stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, they got some horrific things. And I'll be like, Why would a church have this horrible, ugly goblin and these
gargoyles and
all these friggery stuff on it?
Yeah.
And it's a church. It should be showing you some kind of positivity. Even if they got a Hollywood, they're white gods, so that's whatever they got. But they just got some.
Well, well, exactly. You asked the question. So, what kind of church is that then? Not everyone that's called something a church is a church.
Well, those are Catholic churches as well that I'm thinking of as well, especially like.
Yeah, so they have a lot of graven images and all that kind of stuff. And
depraved stuff.
And stuff, some weird stuff,
Yeah, so when I look back at the whole Greek thing, like you're saying, for true, like, it is a bit suspect, you know.
Anything I say to you, you can research it and find out it's true.
No, I'm not just, I'm not.
This is for your audience.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, right. I forgot it's just not for me. I'm not in the lesson right now, but, you know.
Well, you know.
But I guess I'm, you know, sort of, you know, yeah, wow.
So this is the kind of topic kind of stuff. Obviously, that will be the background knowledge in like when you're doing like
So it would depend if I'm talking about Greece, Rome, or ancient blacks in ancient Rome or blacks in ancient Greece, or depending on what the topic is. You know.
I didn't even think about black people in ancient Greece.
Well, as you just said that, like, where did that come from? Like, because obviously we're black people, we was the first. So we was there anyway, or wherever we was, as we frequented around the world and stuff like that. But then what is our place in Greece then, or Rome?
Well, remember, the first thing I said to you when I came on here was that wherever there's people.
Yeah.
You were there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how's geography?
Fairly alright.
It depends what you're saying.
So the Mediterranean, you know, North Africa, right?
Oh yeah, it's quite close.
Absolutely. So when you talk about the Mediterranean, you're thinking mostly about Greece and Rome and Italy, aren't you?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But you know, a large portion of the Mediterranean, is North Africa. So from Mauritania in the west, northwest, to Egypt in the northeast.
Yeah, that is. Very
all that whole stretch is Mediterranean on the top. That's a sea that you know embraces.
No, isn't that part of Africa?
What?
What was the one you just said? The last one?
Egypt.
I thought Egypt was an African country.
It is.
Yeah, but you said Mediterranean.
Exactly.
That's the sea.
Oh, the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the connection in terms of the boats and getting over there and traveling.
Thank you. So whenever I teach in history, you have to know you have to understand geography. Otherwise, so you can then understand the possibilities
of people moving from one place to another.
Precisely.
But then even in them times, the world wasn't as spaced out as it was as well, wasn't it?
Well, it depends on how far back you're going. Yeah. So
yeah.
At one point,
because things was more closer together as well,
land
wasn't
masses
it?
would be closer together,
Yeah.
Joined as well, yeah. So Britain would have been joined to France, yeah.
Mm.
So the early Britain, prehistoric Britain, if you like, would have look a lot different. You'd just have a lot of black folks with no white folks at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know it's a kind of like, oh, what do you mean?
Do you know what? Yeah, no, because looking at it, like, you're talking a lot of geography here for true, like, and me and geography wasn't friends, so I chose history. And then the history was very European, and I was like, yo, can we get some black history up in this thing here? And then we got, so we did a little bit of a campaign and stuff, and then we got a bit of black history, and I remember...
what was it?
Oh, was it? You had to campaign for...
There was no black...
Of course, it's still campaigning now.
There was no black history. But the one book that they had was Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And I remember teeth in it.
That before.
So I've got the book at home. I found it the other day, and it says Michael Ramsey. But I did take it from school because it was the one piece of black thing.
What do you mean you stole it?
Yeah, I stole it, yeah.
I sent to school name and everything.
You appropriated it, yeah.
Archbishop Michael Ramsey. I took the book, yeah.
Man, they don't message you like return our property.
Look, they changed their name to all sorts of stuff. They tried to dissociate themselves from people like who they thought that I was at the time and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they're quite lucky. But
who they thought with the stolen book, yeah?
But listen. Yeah, so we heard, so I'm going to bring it on here one day actually and go through and show what I got. But like with you talking about it from a geography point of view, it's quite interesting actually because
geography and history are brother and sister.
Together, yeah.
They are. Mum, are you listening to the show? Anyway, no, she loves all this stuff anyway. But yeah, so looking at it from a geography perspective, like I was taught black history or wherever I learned about my different parts of black history, but you don't really, it's more sort of the Africa base and the slavery base, and then sort of the eventual, the entrepreneurs of those that made the traffic lights or the washing machine or whatever it is. Do you get what I mean? But when you look at it from like you're talking about Rome. Obviously, yeah, black people was around and all that, but you don't, because they write us out, innit? We're disappeared. You don't see it, so you wouldn't, depending on what you're looking for, you may not see the black people within it because they white it out, isn't it?
Well, also when you're doing research and you're looking for black. When you're researching history, people are looking for black to look for black history. Well, as a point, there's only black, so there's no need for me to make that reference.
Yeah, but then...
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're trying to say, yeah? But then at the same time, you it's not right there at the forefront, though, is it?
Okay, look. So if I'm reading some history books, and I'm looking at some people called Etruscans.
The who?
Etruscans.
Etruscans, is that the letter E at the first?
Well, I'm just saying E, so I'm just emphasising this because you said
okay.
what. So, Etruscans.
No, because when you're saying stuff, I like to look at the spelling potentially. So what is it?
It's very useful to know the spelling.
So spell it then.
E-T.
Oh, it's E. You see what I said?
Well, yeah, but it's not E.
No, but I mean
Dash.
E was the letter so that I can see what the word might look like. I'm very visual in that sense, and I'm British, so the British have words that do not say what it looks like.
Well, yes.
But I say what it looks like to me, and they will say, "Oh, that's not what it says." But I'm reading what I can see.
Yeah.
So I'm very
English is equivocal. That means it's
English is equivocal. You're coming out with bare words, Khareem, today, you know.
Oh, good. So that means you can add them to your vocabulary now, right?
Listen, my vocabulary, you don't want to know about it, mate. Nah, mate. My vocabulary is different. I love it.
Boy.
I got my own dictionary, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I think you should actually write one, to be honest.
Listen, have you seen the words that they put in the English history nowadays? It's just in the dictionary. You're like, what? They're like, they probably got wagwan in there. I mean,
urban bull crap.
So
So what were we saying? Etruscans.
Yeah.
So you may see the Etruscans and not realize they're black people because you're looking for some black reference.
I get
what
you're
saying.
trying to say.
Yeah.
So when you're looking
exactly,
That's
why you won't find it.
At a certain point in history, there's nothing else but black. So I don't need to make a distinction between me and my neighbours or the country over there. Everything is black. You with me?
Yeah.
Until later on down, when of course things change.
So when you say how later on down did things change, was that when the more white people came into establishment?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's pretty recent history. Sorry, that?
Not you, the dragonfly above your hand.
Dragonfly? Are you serious?
Listen, today is calm.
Oh
Normally they're all flying here and she's like, whoa!
Banging
Big
in
dramas.
the mic and stuff.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
You're saying about the Etruscans, and then when you get later on down.
Etruscans, stop emphasizing.
Sorry.
Etruscans.
Etruscans.
Yeah. So the people that preceded the Romans, the Latins. Most of these people, these countries that we know today, they weren't called those names before.
Mm-hmm.
You see, a lot of countries have modern names. I mean, how long do you think Germany's been in existence?
I don't know.
We'll give a guess.
200 years.
200 years, okay. What do you think? 500 years?
Yeah.
So Germany's established in 1871. Yeah.
What's your maths like?
It's not long, right?
Isn't that 1,000? 18 to 19. I was 100.
Yeah, so yeah. So it's 100, what?
Not even that.
130 odd years, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was Germany
150
before?
years.
So was it before then?
Hungary.
Well, remember, it's all different.
Did you say Hungary?
No.
Oh, not her.
It wasn't a country before. You had several different principalities, we call them, so different states, which are ruled by different individuals, yeah?
Oh.
So although
This
they
is
had
really interesting.
although they have a common language, they weren't the same country. They were individual states. Yeah, Prussia, Saxony, all these kind of things. Yeah, Saxe-Coburg, that's where the Queen.
Saxe-Coburg what?
That's where the Queen family come from.
Oh.
Saxe-Coburg Gotha, that's their name.
Yeah, but the Queen's not the real Queen though.
Who is?
No, but she wasn't not the actual head to the throne. Her family took it on now, but then there was somebody else that was meant to take it, but he didn't want to take it, so he passed it over.
Well, that's how they always. That's the history of the British monarchy. It's all about that. So she's right now. She's
Don't play. Are you dumb?
hunting dragonflies.
No, because she starts having a fit.
I can see. So going back to what I was saying, it's about when you're researching, don't just look for black to tell you that something was black, because that reference is not always made. Yeah.
Okay.
So is it a bit like, like in the Bible, where they say the part of the Bible where they say that he had bronze skin and curly hair.
Jesus talking about,
yeah.
Right.
His hair was like walls.
Wool,
Was it wool? He had hair like wool in it.
Wool, yeah.
And then bronze and feet and skin and all this stuff, And then when you look at it, they're talking about a black person, as such. But then that's the reference you see in the Bible, but yet all of the pictures refer to a white person with straight long hair. There's not even a curly haired man. And
the pictures where do they come from?
Well, that come from man, innit? Like not man, but it come from people making up their own stuff, innit?
Yeah, remember this idea of racism, like we know it, is a fairly new thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you call new?
A couple of 100 years.
Okay.
Before that, there's no racism. Racism is a construct made by a German called Otto. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Blumenbach. Yeah, B-A-C-H. That's the Bach sound.
Oh, but that's like an artist, isn't it?
That's Bach.
Oh.
But
it's the same spelling though.
Same spelling, but his name is Blumen. He has Blumen before it, so it's a surname Blumen. B-L-U-M-E-N-B-A-C-H.
So how did
Johann Friedrich Blumenbach. He created the idea for races.
I've known that name. So when you say he created it, how did he create it?
By applying some pseudoscience or unscientific theories to explain the difference in skin tones between people, and based on what he called the beautiful skull theory. So he discovered this skull, basically, I'll just paraphrase around it. He discovered this skull in the Caucasus, in a place called Georgia, near to Armenia. Skull he said it was a beautiful skull and it belonged to the Caucasian people, and it's the most beautiful skull he ever saw, and therefore that made Caucasians superior to every other race, because every other race's skull was ugly. So he created categories called Caucasoid, Negroid, Mongoloid, Malay, and American. Before, there's no classification like that.
Did Hitler get something from him or something like that?
Well, yeah, everybody that followed got something from that. That was a white supremacist. So there's where these theories came about because to justify slavery.
Okay.
So you've got people at the time. We're talking about the 1780s, okay? Mm-hmm. So you got people crying out against inhumane treatment of black people. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about white people, yeah? Mm-hmm. So you got your own people saying what you're doing is wrong. You can't treat another human being like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? So you got all these abolitionists and people. So they have to come up with some idea to justify what they're doing and make it look not as bad as what it is.
Yeah.
So black people ain't really humans. Yeah? They're three-fifths humans in American law.
Right,
yeah?
Just pause a minute. You're saying that's what he said, black people ain't humans. No. You're saying that.
No, I'm saying that's the idea. It's the ideology. Yeah.
The ideology from him, or the ideology
from him, and then of course you get disciples after that who pick up on this.
So that people ain't.
Everybody wants to feel superior, right?
Yeah.
So all I got to do is be born. I'm just be born white and I'm superior. They love that idea. I ain't got to do nothing particular to earn that right.
And they said that black people ain't really human.
Well, that's the idea. The idea is to justify the inhuman treatment of another human being. How do I do it? But I only can do that by making him less than a human. Mm. Yeah? And so this classification of races in a hierarchy with the white people at the top and blacks at the bottom, almost human, not quite, still evolving from apes. Yeah. And people like Darwin's theory of evolution, all of these things, Carl Linnaeus, Benjamin Rush. I'm just throwing some names out there. Just go. If you record this, go and look them up and they'll tell you. Mm-hmm. I mean...
Well, I ain't heard of Benjamin Rush.
Rush is American. Rush thought that black skin was a hereditary disease. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he thought it was a hereditary disease, and that blacks weren't to be blamed for this disease.
Well, they said that we wasn't to be blamed.
Weren't to be blamed.
We are to be blamed.
Yeah, in other words, we should have an extra portion of pity on them for having this black skin, because it wasn't their fault. It's a hereditary disease, but I believe it can be cured, he said. Yeah.
Well, how did he cure it?
Well, no, he said, I believe I could be cured. Mm-hmm. Okay. He didn't find a cure for it because he's stupid. The idea is ridiculous.
Trying to do something like test on people or something, or some madness.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, they would do that.
They probably did, because they did a lot of testing on us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So he believed that it was a disease, and it was only skin deep, and that of course it could be. He called it like a black leprosy. Mm-hmm. That's what he thought it was. I mean, that's how stupid these people are. And these are scientists, so-called scientists, So when they speak, people listen.
Listen to them, yeah.
Exactly. And then their ideas go into textbooks, and then they get taught in schools.
It'd be like this Gates man, innit, chatting a lot of crap and they won't be following behind him.
And then, so we get that now 200 years later, we have racism.
But
You see?
Yeah.
Where before, there was nothing like that before. So if I go to war with you, if I'm a Roman and I go to war with, I don't know, with Egypt, it's not because there's black people there and I hate them. It's because it's rich. And there's resources that I want it, you understand? Yeah. So the war is not based on, in the ancient times, it's not based on race or hatred and all that kind of nonsense. It's based on the fact that I want power, I want land, and I want resources.
It's true, because it's funny, because when I was listening to, and I played a few excerpts on the show the other day about with the interview with the Jewish guy. And when they asked him about black people, he didn't have anything really to say. Like, everything he talked about was just about world domination and about the Jewish being the people that are, dominating, and only the Jewish people being in the world and society.
What was this?
Oh, what's his name? If anything, I'll send it to you after. But it was an interview.
Was he saying about Jews?
No, he was a rabbi, Jewish rabbi.
Yeah.
And like this guy was asking him lots of different questions about lots of different things. So he was talking about what the Jews do in society, and he was confirming that Jews own banks and they own the different entities in the media and this, that. And what he will say is just that white people think that they're going to be the last ones on this earth, but Jewish people are going to be on this earth, and their plan is just for it to be a Jewish society. And he was talking about like all the different wars. No, he didn't say he was white. No.
Well, what does he look like to you?
You couldn't see him.
Oh, okay.
No, you couldn't see him, but he wasn't talking about what colour he is, but they don't see themselves as white. He was saying you white people, so he's not seeing himself as white.
Well, it depends who's talking. So it also depends. Is it a Jew speaking or a Hebrew?
Oh. It's a Jew. Yeah, because that's what the man said. Now that's the thing, because the man knew a lot, and obviously he did, but he was saying to him, what is it in terms of, like, he was talking about the Hebrews, and he was saying, and he's very candid about it, and he was just very relaxed, and was just like, look, we tell you the stuff that we do, but you don't want to believe us, so we just keep on doing it. And he was talking about, blood that they drink, and then mashing up the bodies, and all this different stuff, and that,
Well,
that's a different thing, Bob. Anyway,
if I was to get into that conversation, I would probably need about 3 hours. And I would probably turn your world upside down. So maybe I'll leave that one.
Well, I mean, we've got 1 minute before we go to the ad break anyway. So we've still got another hour for you to continue.
Turn their worlds up now, joking.
To school us on the School of
Africology.
Africology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting it, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Like, it's very, and you know what? Like, I'm not going to stand here and say, like, I thought I knew it all, but I do know that I know a lot of stuff. But, like...
I get exactly what you mean, but the stuff you've touched
on... But, yeah, it's like... I ain't even scratched the surface.
I ain't even scratched the surface.
But this is the thing, mate. You come back next week. I mean...
Whenever you want me.
How do you get into the classes? We'll talk about that after the break.
Yeah, because you've got different programs and stuff like that as well, isn't it? So, wow, it's really... Yeah. I mean, and that's why you're here anyway, Khareem, to kind of educate, not just about educating listeners, but also educating ourselves as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's important, yeah. It's really
important. And it's good to sort of, I can't even say you're reinforcing what I know already, because you're teaching me new stuff right now. And like I said, the whole geography side of things, it's not really something that's that I thought of or even went into from that perspective, short of black people moving from one part of the land to the other part of the land and that kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, my name's Leticia, aka Leglelicious.
And I'm your girl, Miss Leesh.
And we are here with...
Khareem Jamal.
From
the School of Africology and from Lewisham.
So guys, we'll go to the ad break, catch us on the next side of town. We've got 7 minutes, get a drink, dudes, whatever you got to do. Come back right here, this is where you need to be.
Ontop 95.